Alright guys, welcome to this video where I'm going to take you through the exact process of why you're always exhausted and how to fix it. Now, apologies for the random setup. I am in a hotel room. I'm travelling to Scotland at the moment, which yes, is my home country, but I just got extremely fed up of being in my hometown. So I'm in a hotel room in Glasgow and I'm here to deliver this message. So, we need to understand a few different things about the body's energy factory, and I will take you through why 95% of people are exhausted, even if they're going to the gym, even if they think they're eating clean, and even if they think, oh, I'm getting 8 hours a day sleep, which doesn't really matter if you're doing all these things. And one of them is this. Now, this is obviously caffeine. We'll get into that, but let's get in. So, if you've ever woke up after 8 hours of sleep and you feel like, why on earth am I still absolutely exhausted? Like the battery would be at 5%. This is common. I've heard so many people moan about this, and we're going to dive in. We're going to get right into why and how to charge back up because that is not normal. There's something wrong, okay? And apologies, I woke up like 20 minutes ago, but because I'm on the move, there's nothing I can do, and I'm not going to not do this video. So, let's get in. Basically, inside of you, there's a factory that never stops producing energy. So, if you look at this diagram here, guys, right? So, imagine these little workers are the cells. This is happening 24/7, right? There's billions of these little workers, and they're your cells. So, this is the factory that is responsible for keeping your energy up at a sustained level, okay? So, when everything is running smoothly, then it's fine. You feel fine, you wake up energized, refreshed, you can focus, your work feels good, the gym feels good, everything like that. But as soon as something happens, which is inevitable because life, right? Obviously, stress hits. And it could be, well, we've got an example of stress in the next one, but basically, any kind of stress hits in your body, the alarm, there's an alarm that goes off inside your body called the adrenal glands, and they release cortisol and adrenaline, which is emergency fuel. Now, here's a little insight into why most people are basically just running on this alarm clock all the time. If you look at this diagram on the right, that's basically people 95% of the time, okay? So if the alarm never stops, the workers panic, they run out of steam, and people just constantly live in this state of fear. It's like a heightened state of like fight or flight. You're probably familiar with that, right? Now, look at this here. I'm trying to display what the adrenal glands are. They're basically two glands that sit on the top of the kidneys, and one gland is responsible for saying, okay, we need to pulse more energy, and one gland is responsible for saying, okay, let's chill out, okay? But the problem is, most people never actually chill out. Here's some examples of the stress that I was talking about there. So, stimulants is obviously a big one, and caffeine is fine, by the way. If you can control it and you can reduce the things I'm going to show you, then it's not bad to be drinking caffeine. Um, a massive one that most people deal with is your boss being a dick because it raises the stress levels of cortisol above the natural level. Now, cortisol is a hormone, but you the thing is, there's a lot of demonizing of cortisol on the internet, and cortisol is responsible for waking you up in the morning. It's basically in sync with your circadian rhythm. As your body temperature rises in the morning, cortisol spikes to wake you up. So it's not bad. It just when it gets out of whack, it gets out of sync. Then that's when the issues start coming because you cannot really chill out when it's up too high. Okay, so when people are at work, and I've experienced this basically for the last 20 years until I got out of the job. Every boss, not them all, but yeah, they're shouting in your ear, giving you more work, and it raises your stress levels. And then like inflammation as well. So you add on caffeine, you add on the boss being a dick, you add on inflammation from hyper processed foods because all the foods that you're eating, for example, that might be quick fast foods, meal deals, they've all got seed oils, lectins, dyes, preservatives, glues. and it causes your body to inflame because it's not bioavailable. Your body does not immediately recognize it like it does with, like, for example, an egg, a piece of steak, a piece of chicken that is ready to go. Your body goes, yes, nice one. But when it's packaged with all this ingredients and it's the ingredients list is like a science experiment, your body uses up some mineral reserves and a lot of energy. And because some of the things your body cannot recognize, a lot of these lectins and glues, it causes inflammation. So you add that on to the stress of the caffeine, the stress of your boss being a dick, and then you're highly likely sitting in unnatural light. Like, this is unnatural light. That is the light in the hotel room. I'm actually in here with no natural light. So I could have just not done the video, but I have to do the video. I'm absolutely not going to not do it. So a lot of people are sitting in offices for 8 to 10 hours a day, and then they're only getting unnatural light exposure. Now, what that does over a course of time is it stresses your nervous system because the unnatural light is going into your retina, into your brain, and these lights flicker at a rate that we can't even see, which it causes stress on our bodies. So if you're sitting inside in an office, you're overstimulated by caffeine, your boss has been a dick, you're undernourished, you're overinflamed, and then you're sitting still at a desk, or you're maybe even working in a place where it's only unnatural light and you don't get natural light outside from the sun. Think how much stress you've got on your body, okay? And then to add to that, you've got dehydration because most people are only drinking like normal water from a plastic bottle. So then you're getting microplastics in the water, and you're not hydrating with good quality mineral salts because everyone's been told that salt's bad, but it's not. It's only bad when it's been stripped and bleached and processed from its natural form. And then to add to this flipping concoction of stress, what do people do at the end of the day? Some people go, okay, we need to finish this off with a good workout, which is good, right? The problem with that is that working out releases adrenaline, and it also releases cortisol. And what do you need to do at bedtime? You need to reduce cortisol and increase melatonin in order for your body temperature to naturally come down. Because in the morning, like I said, your body temperature comes up, we're becoming more alert, and then as your 24-hour clock, the circadian rhythm, starts to come down when it starts getting dark, melatonin releases, and we get sleepy. But if you're going into a gym after being in unnatural light all day, you're stressed from the boss, you're undernourished, you're inflamed, you've got too much stimulants running through your brain from caffeine, and then you go into a gym where it's more unnatural light, and you've got music pumping, and then you're going very hard on the bench or the deadlifts, right? And then you expect to go to sleep 2 to 3 hours after that. The thing is, all of these examples of stress, I'm piling into one and making it a reason why that you just can't sleep even though you're exhausted. Does that make sense? Like, if you train too close to bedtime, now it's not ideal for everyone. Sometimes I've done it as well. Sometimes this is this life, you just have to. But I'm just bringing awareness. This video is just bringing awareness of, like, the reasons why you might be exhausted and what you can actually do about it. Like, some people can do more. Obviously, it depends on their lifestyle. So if you're training close to bedtime, it's some people can handle it more, but some people, like, it's affected me. I've been buzzed. I've done like MMA close to, like, what was it, class 7 till 8:30, and then I've been buzzed, couldn't sleep. So you've just got to be careful. And then this is how stress affects the recovery. I kind of touched on it, but it doesn't just obviously make you feel tense. It blocks your ability to repair and restore. And obviously, it's fried your nervous system because it keeps you in fight or flight, and it will stop you recovering. So, like, if you're constantly in fight or flight from caffeine, from your boss, from all the seed oils, from the unnatural light, from the sedentary lifestyle, from the late workouts with your pumping adrenaline at 8, 9 p.m., the nervous system is just like, mate, I need a fucking break. And it never lets you get deep, healing, how do you even say it? Restorative sleep. And it doesn't let you because you're just constantly stressed, which affects the amount of sleep you get, which will go back to the morning when you're sleep deprived, you immediately hit caffeine, you're dehydrated, you're inflamed from the food, your boss has been a dick. Can you see how it's just a concoction of an absolute nightmare? And a lot of people might be like, oh, well, it's just fucking life. Well, it's not though, is it? Because it's somebody's idea of a life for you. And you can just take that idea and say, you can go fuck yourself. I will nourish my body, rest, detox from the digital world. I will get natural light when I can. Maybe if I'm working in an office, I'll do it at lunchtime or my break time. I will not have caffeine immediately. I will hydrate properly, and I will try and find a job that or a meaningful career so the stress level reduces, so my recovery will increase. You can do things. You absolutely can. Because I'm a living example of basically flipping my entire lifestyle. For context, I used to work on oil rigs for 12 hours a night for 3 weeks at a time, dealing with dickhead bosses, dealing with unnatural light, dealing with unnatural working hours, dealing with excessive working hours, dealing with undernourishment and seed oil stress and fucking preservative stress on the gut. I really felt that I've got a pretty dodgy gut from genetics, but I'm doing things to like combat that, and it's working. And so I've dealt with all this, and I've flipped my lifestyle into controlling what I eat, controlling how I earn, controlling when I go where I go in the world, so I can get natural sunlight and all those things. You can do it. So going back to how the stress will just really fuck up your recovery. This is why I'm bringing this awareness, because you need to focus on reducing the stress and nourishing the body, like I just said, before you start focusing on sleep hacks and supplements. Because if you just supplement on top of what I've just said, like here, right? Wait, what was it? Yeah, if you supplement on top of all the stresses, then do you really think it's going to be beneficial to you rather than just reducing some of these things and then supplementing? Do you know what I mean? Okay. So here is, now you can take a screenshot of this if you want, because these are really good and they do work. But I'll just go through them one at a time, but honestly, it's really good to take a screenshot just for reference. So don't try. Again, life, you can mess this up, it's fine. No caffeine after 12 p.m. because caffeine has got a half life of, I think it's 6 hours. So basically, what that means, if I'm drinking this caffeine now, which it is 10 to 9 in the morning, I just say 9, right? At 9 p.m., so 12 hours after I've drunk this caffeine, there will still be a quarter of the caffeine content running through my brain. So this is a lion's mane latte with an extra shot. Extra shot. So just say it's like 250 milligrams of caffeine. Okay, just say 200 for fucking simplicity. There will still be 50 milligrams of caffeine in my brain at 9 p.m. at night. So if I decide to go to bed at 11 p.m., I might be safe. But who says I'm not going to have another coffee later? So can you see how it starts affecting your sleep quality? Now you might be thinking, oh, Cameron, I can fall asleep with caffeine. It's easy. I just pass out. A lot of people say that, and it's the same with alcohol. But here's what caffeine and alcohol does. It stops your body going into REM sleep. You know, when you're dreaming, basically rapid eye movement sleep. And without that, you're not getting the deepest quality sleep. There's different stages of sleep, okay, and REM is extremely important. There's light and there's REM and there's deep sleep, okay? It blocks you getting the deep recovery sleep. So that means that you're going to be groggy, you're getting less REM and less recovery. So that's really not good. Limit the caffeine. And obviously sunlight. Now, I'm in Scotland, like I said, so it's fucking hard because for 8 months of the year, it's basically piss and rain. So this really is hard, I understand. But even in overcast, get natural sunlight because there's still infrared light, there's still natural sunlight coming through, and we do need it. We do need it. Unnatural lights from blue light and LEDs is flickering, it's stressing your nervous system, and it's just remember that. Get as much natural sunlight as you possibly can. Also connect with nature as much as you can. This sounds a bit like woo woo and gay, but trust me, it's not. Like, we are natural beings. We're not fucking meant to just always be in cities, and you know what I mean? Like, we come from nature. We don't come from a city. It's somebody's idea to put humans in cities and have them all congregated in this concrete jungle. But it's good to just go back, go to the park, get your fucking feet into the grass. And honestly, this has actually been proven to lower cortisol, which is your stress. Just trust me on that one. It actually works. It's weird, but it only seems weird because we are humans that live in concrete jungles. The ancient humans would not find that weird. They would find it weird to walk around Glasgow City. right? And see how everybody's looking and feeling and walking. They would think it's weird. Another one, spend time with friends and pets. Like that's absolutely essential because it releases oxytocin, which is a hormone that cancels. Well, it helps reduce stress. You don't really need to explain that one. And like I said in the other one, less inflammation, calmer nervous system, better sleep, single ingredient foods. If you're working, take, for example, take eggs with you, take fruit with you, take kombucha if you like fizzy juice because it's a probiotic and it's good for your gut. Um, Take things that don't take long to cook, so like beef burgers from a butcher. Like single ingredient foods are going to help you reduce the stress in your body and just help your health overall, right? So, because just think about it. Look, the next time you go into Tesco or I don't know if you're watching this in America, Publix, was that America? And Coles is Australia. So if you go in there and you just look at the ingredients of stuff, watch out for canola oil, rapeseed oil, vegetable oils. Like if you can avoid oils and dyes and preservatives and lectins and glues, you will be calmer. Like think how crazy that is. Your body will be calmer. Your brain will be clearer. Your sleep will be deeper. Just think about that. And it does take a little bit of getting used to because you go into your work. Oh, you go into your work and people are like, "Oh, why are you eating so much eggs? Is that not bad for your cholesterol?" And you're gonna get that. And there's all these myths about salt and cholesterol and saturated fat. And I truly believe that the health, the World Health like organizations and all that, they don't want you to be healthy because why would they? Because they've got pharmaceuticals to sell you. So moving on, I could go on and on and on and on about that. So prioritize good sleep, but we've kind of covered that. It's obviously essential to do all these things first before you're going to manage to prioritize good sleep. And this is one of the hardest things to actually do. But like I said, I'm living proof that I've done it. I managed to get myself out of a very stressful environment and job to switch to something that I love, which is this. So you can get out of something and you can switch careers. You can. Just don't let everyone around you tell you that it's impossible because the reason they're saying that is because they're in this state that we've just covered. So if you escape that state, it's going to trigger them. And this one I'm still working on myself, but obviously there's so much science to prove that simple slow breathing, meditating, it will shut off that fight or flight response, which notifications, okay, I've not said that one, notifications, caffeine, stress, the whole list that I covered, that will start to reduce it, okay? So being present and focused on your breathing. Okay, moving on, we're almost there, guys. Your sleep is your charging cable. Again, you can take a screenshot of this if you want to improve your sleep health, because the reason I left this to the kind of end is because you need to do everything that I said first before this will actually have the most effect. Do you know what I mean? So, dark, cold room, and earplugs, mouth tape, eye mask, screens off before bed, and the caffeine. Those are your basic ones, and they will help you recover better. Um, Now, I don't really need to say much about the list apart from an eye mask if you haven't got blackout blinds, earplugs for noise, cold room because it's actually been proven to you get deeper sleep if you sleep in a cold room. So I'm never going to struggle with that in this country. Depends where you're like watching me from, whereabouts in the world. I don't know where you're at, so just if you've got aircon, put it on, 17 degrees. Screens before bed because this is the one that I struggle with. Look again, life. It's not just perfect, okay? Like for example, last year I was in Asia, and I was working with American clients, so I couldn't have my screens off late at night. I'd have to have calls. So then that would have an effect on my sleep. But sometimes it's just a trade off to be at the other side of the world. Like that's just some things I had to do. So just be mindful if you finish work at like 5, you're watching Netflix till 11, maybe stop that and try and calm down before you actually go to sleep and you'll notice a difference. Okay. Now again, this one is very difficult in Scotland because the sunlight is, well, let's just say what date are we on? We're at the end of October, so yeah, it's basically gone. It's still there, but it's overcast a lot of time. But wherever you're at in the world, the first thing in the morning, get into natural sunlight with your bare feet. We are electromagnetic beings. We need the magnetism for the earth and the electricity from the sun to charge us from the inside and from literally from the ground up. and from the external. This is literally what humans need to thrive. And again, the sun has been demonized again. But why? Just let me ask you this: why, when I was on night shift, okay, on the oil rigs, and I wasn't getting any sunlight, why were they telling me to supplement with vitamin D if the sun is so bad for you? I'll just leave that with you. Now, I've left this to the end because everything else dialed in first will make the most difference before you actually focus on this to overall health. Because light, sleep, grounding, reducing stress, I just put them first. Now, these are obviously important because you're going to need your brain during the day and energy, but I'd left it to the end for those reasons. Now, you can take a screenshot of these if you want. This is like, did I misspell that wrong? Indul, yeah, I suppose I just noticed the spell mistake. You can take a screenshot of these. These are like simple, nutrient dense, whole foods that also taste good. Like that's the thing. People are like, healthy food doesn't taste good. It fucking does, man. So yeah, these are just ones that are not gonna cause you to have an energy crash. Like if you, for example, if you want to perform in business in that afternoon, I would not recommend having pastas and noodles and rice, heavy starch and potatoes. Those are good for at night time, but like just during the day, keep it light, keep it low starch, and you'll perform better. Okay, I hope that helps. And we've got a couple more. Now these are just some things. Again, take a screenshot that you can do immediately, like right now, to feel better. Because I know I've just covered a lot. So if you've got any questions as well, just please let me know in the comments and I'll try and help. But like, this is things that you can do immediately to start feeling better and improving your health. So take a screenshot, and if you haven't yet, just go back and you do it. So look, honestly, this was a lot, but you're not. I want you to understand something. You're not lazy. Your factory is just being in emergency mode. Remember that alarm I said with the adrenal glands? Two little glands sitting on top of your kidneys. When stress hits, boom, 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 boom. And most people live in that state. You've been living in that state for too long. So we want to quiet the alarm, recharge the battery, and balance the fuel across our body so we have sustained energy and overall health. And if you do these things I said in the presentation, you will watch your energy come back, you will crash less, you will feel a lot better, and you will not be stuck in the 99% of people who sleep 8 hours a day, are exhausted, have high cortisol, higher than natural, they're undernourished, and they're never getting natural light. And here's me sitting inside a hotel room with unnatural light. But you've just got to do what you've got to do, man. That's what it is. So I hope that helps you guys. And any questions, please let me know in the comments. And I hope that helps. I'll catch you in the next one.